This week's debate is about directors of football, but where do we come down? So Baz, are you for or against directors of football at Everton Football Club?
Against.
Yes. Okay. I am for. Mighty for. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm on the side of the current director of football. I do like the model though.
Okay.
So
mine doesn't mean I'm not on the side of the current director.
You just don't like directors of football.
You know why? Right. This is what it is. Right. I can kind of, when I think about it, not logically. When I think about it, taking Everton out of it, you look and you go, right, this fella comes in, he plans all this, and you run along on a train track brilliantly, and this is what you do, bang, 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 right? And that's great. It looks great. Theoretically, it looks great. But looking at the way it's kind of working at Everton, and particularly the reason I thought about this today is based on what we've done, the Tuesday Toffee thing about Sam Allardyce's comments. I think what it does is it gives people a chance to use to kind of blame other things and go, that's nothing to do with me. I don't want my manager doing that. I want my manager to hold his head up and go, Cenk Tosun was the best player, best centre forward. Now I'm hoping he comes good, and I think he's a good player. I think he will do all right. But he was the best striker we could get, according to our manager. Within 10 days of him being in, we don't know if he's going to do it. It's a gamble. He mightn't settle, and there's been every excuse under the sun. Now apparently he's just said again, not sure whether he'll even do it now. But the kind of a fucking comment that, and where's that coming from? So we can kind of go to say you're Farhad Moshiri. Well, I didn't buy him. Steve Walsh told me that he was the best. He can look at that team and go, why have you bought Davy Klaassen? You said he was good. Nothing to do with me. None of these players are mine. Where I think if you're a man, and now listen, it'll always happen because managers come into a club and the new manager comes in and goes, I don't like him, I don't like him, I don't like him. But if you're trying to move forward as a football club and then you've got someone giving players to you, you might look and go, it's a bit, I suppose, like Antonio Conte at Chelsea, Ross Barkley. Did he really want Ross Barkley? Or did he just go, I'll have him because he's a midfielder? And I think we operate a little bit differently over there. I don't see any issue with the manager making the decisions. A good chief scout, decent CEO, and the manager going, listen, I want him, and he's my number one shot. And as a manager, you should have 3 players for each position in your head because you're supposed to know football. And you get an extensive scouting network, and they report back, like David Moyes probably, with his wall, and you know different things and all that, and that should really be what it falls on, because then, just for me, I'll finish up now, just for me, the buck then stops with you, and that's your team, and you can go, you know what, I bought Cenk Tosun, and he hasn't been good enough, and that's on me, it's not on anybody else, and you're not giving me players who I don't want, and spending millions of pounds, and I'm going, I can get in my team, I wouldn't have bought you. There you go, that's where I stand.
I think I agree with a lot of the things you've just said, but a lot of the things you just said is why I want a director of football. I think what
I'm going to agree with some things you say.
How dare you? What we actually don't have at Everton is clarity on what the roles are at certain people at Everton Football Club, and I think that's a bigger hindrance to the role of director of football. At the general meeting, that's when the question should have been asked, when he was sitting on that stage, when he basically sort of had to, when all those people were there. I think I like the model, and I like the model because it creates, what it does is it creates consistency at a football club. But as a caveat to that, you only want consistency when things are going well. So if you've got a director of football, let's say someone like Monchi, right, who did brilliantly at Seville, right?
Is that Roma now?
He's at Roma now, headhunted. He was very good at his job, right? So it's like having a manager. If they're very good at the job, you want them, right? But if they're not good, then you don't want them. So if you've got someone, if you've got a defined role, right? So it has to start at the top.
Yep.
If you've got a defined role, or you've got defined roles, you've got your CEO, your director of football, or whatever he's called, where you are, your manager, your scouting network, whatever. It all fits into place, so that if you lose your manager, your CEO doesn't leave the club, and I don't think your director of football should leave the club if it's all set up correctly. I just don't think at Everton it's set up correctly, and that might be teething problems because it's the first time we've had one, and also because the man we've brought in isn't a director of football, or wasn't a director of football. He was an assistant manager at Leicester and a chief scout. They basically just looked at all the things that he'd done and gone, "You're a director of football." I don't know if he can do the job or what he does, and I think that's one of the biggest things. And I think it should have been defined early on what his responsibilities were, so that finger pointing couldn't become a thing where Koeman could duck out of situations, Allardyce can duck out of situations by going, "Hey, I don't do that." Now I understand things like contracts and all that. That shouldn't have anything to do with the manager. I do agree a manager should have input, but on buying play, But Conte uses that excuse, but he's got no right to use that excuse because he knew exactly what he was walking into at Chelsea. All the managers at Chelsea know what they're walking into. They're walking into a place where the manager gets given the players like a lot of teams abroad. No, I understand that, but that's a defined role, right? And I don't necessarily agree with that. But what I'm saying is, it's like we had this argument last week about the offside rules for VAR on the Footy Show, and you kept on telling me it shouldn't be offside, and I was saying, but it is offside.
But actually it shouldn't, because a goal can't be, being clarified, a goal can't be scored with your hands, so therefore it can't be thingy. The need of... No, I know, but it's...
The point being is, we argue for things that we want, but they're not the things that actually... You can argue all day about whether you like somebody, but you know what I mean. It's like,
no, but what I'm saying to you is your manager is often seen as the most important.
Well, I understand that, right?
So he should have clarity over who he buys.
But I think they do have clarity. I just think they use the excuse that they don't to bamboozle us and create doubt, or maybe they don't, and that's what I'm saying. Get the defined roles. Make sure it's known. Make sure it's consistent, so that I can't. So I don't mean I just mean that if a manager comes to the director of football and says, I like this fella, I think he's really good player, right?
Yeah,
I want him. Director of football says, okay, we're going to do exactly what we do when I want a player. So we send X amount of scouts out to go and watch him. And whether you like him or whether I like him, we send the scouts out, right? To send them back, come back and they go, I've had the scout reports, don't like him. I've sent 10 different scouts out and they've come back with all the same things, don't like him, sorry. And that's the same if the director of football wants him or the scout wants him. And this becomes because, and we know for a fact, every scout that was sent to see Nias come back with a negative report, and Martinez wanted him regardless, right? Now, it hasn't turned out as wholly as bad as it could have been, but for a while it was looking bad. And I just think that's what I'm saying, it leads to a level of consistency, and they go through the same channels, but it's consistent. I don't think it's been consistent at Everton.
If you're trying to build a team, you've got an idea of what you want. How can...
But that's...
if I'm trying to build my team, why should I let you choose my players? Do you know what I mean?
Okay, that's fine. So what? So that doesn't have to be the model.
No.
What if the model? Liverpool have whisper it. Liverpool have got a director of football, right? But their model is now. It used to be under Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers wanted a player. He took it, went to see the committee. The committee either said yes or no. Now he says, I want this player. And you go and get it done for me.
Yeah.
And then that fella will also bring another. I want a left back. You're not telling me Klopp went and got Robinson from Hull He wouldn't even know fucking Hull, where Hull was. But he probably went, someone probably come in and went, got a kid there, fits all those specs, watch it reckon. Yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Because and the director of football will come in and go, because even if he's shit, he's played for Liverpool and we'll get 15 million for him, because that's how, like the Chelsea tax. And I think but imagine that conversation happening between the manager and Elston. It's not the same conversation. Doesn't know anything about football, clearly.
I just don't want a situation where we're giving managers a collection of players. Didn't this happen to Villas-Boas? He got given some players and he didn't want half of them, the 7.
Then he shouldn't have took the job.
But he was in the job.
But he shouldn't have took the job.
But he was in the job. You see, now with Pochettino, what happens there? Because they don't really buy anyone, do they? Because they've got a great side. But I wonder if he buys them or the Tottenham buy them, and does he okay it? Does he not?
I think this idea of what a director of football does has lost its way through the Chinese whispers of football. I think, and I always go back, and you know what I always go back to? I always go back to Bayern Munich, Sammer. Brilliant example. He's an ex-footballer, he was an intelligent man. And we're going to get more of them, because not every footballer wants the hassle of being a manager. Don't want the day-to-day hands-on. They've got brains. A lot of footballers got brains.
I think he's at Juve, Pavel Nedved.
Do you know who'll be a brilliant director of football in a few years? Theo Walcott.
Yeah,
you can see it now. He's fucking got it. Do you know why more footballers and more middle class kids are playing football now, right? Because their parents are probably happy for them to become footballers. But you know, in the past it was like become a doctor, or because there's so much money involved now. So I think there'll be more, and I don't know if day-to-day football is their level. Look at become one. Vincent Kompany.
Yeah,
Vincent Kompany become a director of football.
Amazing.
Got the brains, knows how football works, knows what it takes. I'm actually surprised that Patrick Vieira didn't become a director of football rather than a manager. I think he's got that.
The book though, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, fair enough. But I imagine Kompany will. So I imagine more footballers will, and it'll become more. It'll change a bit when there's more actual football brain people in there. Look at Ajax. They've got Overmars in there now, and I think it's just that link between the manager and the people in charge of the purse strings. That is key, and it keeps that consistency that when a manager gets sacked, there doesn't have to be a massive.
I don't think at Everton. I think other people are in the way of Steve Walsh.
So isn't that surely then there's too many chiefs at Everton and not enough?
Maybe, but I don't want my manager having an excuse.
But to
hide behind.
But that's what I'm saying. Take away the excuse by bringing clarity to what is going on, and that maybe there isn't any clarity because Everton may be just a fucking mess and haven't sorted that situation out yet. I'm not saying there isn't a mess. There might be a fucking mess, but sort the mess out for it first.
I think to have one, you've got to have someone who's done it. You've got to have someone who's experienced at it and who's good at it. And I know we've been like with Marcel Brands.
But you know what that brings though, don't you? That brings contacts. If you've been a director, if you're a director of football and you've been a director of football and you've gone into all these club, do you know one of the things now, just to be if you want to be a journalist, right, or you're a journalist and you're working for like the local paper, right, and you want a job at like the BBC or Sky, right, do you know the first thing they'll ask you? Who you got in your back book? That's the first. Who can you get sourced? Who can you call? Yeah. Who can? Well, I got an interview with so and so. Pep Guardiola's I can get him on the phone. Look at that kid who works for BBC, that David Ornstein, right?
Oh yeah.
Look at Joyce. Like that, mate. Winters. They've got the contacts straight away. That Ornstein fucking breaks news at Arsenal before fucking people at Arsenal know about it. He's in the know, and that's what they want. It's all about. It's all about networking now. and contacts. So Steve Walsh is like going through fucking the internet looking for someone's phone number. You know, brands is like speed dial, Barcelona or whatever. That's what it takes now. I think that's where we've gone wrong. We should have gone. If it was going to be,
we wanted Monty, didn't we? That's who we wanted. We went after Monty. We offered them big money. They wouldn't release him. You know, but when he became available, we should have gone back for him.
But surely, to be our first one, the first one should have been someone
who's done it.
Who's established.
To be fair to Mashiri, that's what he wanted, didn't he? He wanted an established. He wanted the best one in the business, which was allegedly Monty, and he couldn't get him. And then they went for obviously Steve Walsh was available, and someone probably went just help Leicester win the league from nothing, and he probably looked and went, well, hell yeah.
But
got Jamie Vardy, got Riyad Mahrez.
In fairness to Walsh, I'm not here to praise him or anything, but in fairness to him, he's had 3 different managers, and he's had to, if he wanted, if the manager wanted certain players or wouldn't take certain players, then that's where it all falls down, isn't it?
I just don't believe he's. I'll say I don't believe he's a director of football.
Well, then that's fine.
I believe he's.
That's fine.
Probably a good chief scout, and he might even be a good coach. If on the football side, you know, I know he's on the training ground at Leicester doing stuff with them. He might be good at that, but don't forget, he was at Leicester for a while, and Leicester was shite. And then, Vardy was very good, and Riyad Mahrez was great, and it all clicked together. And Ranieri was the one that won them the fucking league, not Steve Walsh. And he picked up Kante, he did. He picked up a handful, 3 or 4 really good ones, but they had some really shite ones as well.
Can I just point out that everyone he signed after they won the league has now left Leicester?
There you go. So let's not.
Well, that's fine,
right? But that's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. It's not all about him, because, like you said, I think there's pathways at Everton are blocked with some of the stuff he does.
So. I just wonder then if it's just the bad experience we've had, or this very English idea that we have. Because it's funny, I was talking about this on Saturday in the pub. It reminded me, I can't remember what he was talking about, but it reminded me of when Clive Woodward got the job at Southampton, and all the football people hounded him out, like Redknapp. Because he didn't understand what his job was to do. Because we were watching it was the rugby actually, and we were talking about what he'd done and how Dave Brailsford, I should be calling these people Sir, but Dave Brailsford done the same for the cycling, where they don't coach, because Woodward was the same. When he was in charge of England, they won the World Cup, he wasn't a coach. He was like a director of football, or director of rugby. He found the coaches. He set up how he found the inches, like Brailsford does for the cycling team. He finds the inches. He's not hands-on day to day, but he finds the inches. And I wonder whether that's what we need, and whether that's what the coaches or the managers does his job, but the director of football or cycling or rugby is looking for the inches, and we just haven't got the clarity yet there. What's supposed to be going on, because you said there, Monchi does it. There's someone at Barcelona who'll do it. There's someone at Ajax who'll do it. Bayern Munich, City.
Bergistan now.
So it works, but now don't ever hear anyone say, "Oh, that player at City's shite because of."
But Pep, you get the feeling Pep chooses them players, don't you?
But you get the feeling that there's a relationship where there's trust.
Mate, listen.
And the roles are clarified.
What I'm saying is, our experience. I think I thought when we got it, this will set a line and we'll follow the path, and we seem to be well off the path, right?
Okay.
And I can see why Southampton have it, and it's done them. It's kind of treated them well. Les Leeds bought players. They've done quite well this season. They're struggling, but in general, over the last few years, they've followed the line. Things have kind of worked for them.
But what if? Okay, well, let me ask you this question then. What if this summer we go after the best manager available in Europe, let's say, and there's a couple out there, and they turn around and go, I need a director of football. Now it might be Walsh, but they say I need a director of football because actually I'm coming into a Premier League club. I've got to hit the ground running. I can't be dealing with that. I need someone in that role. I'm used to someone in that role. I need someone taking that day-to-day pressure of looking for players. Doing those. No, but what I'm. Think about how much time must be taken away from a coach coaching, from almost the admin of doing that job.
I know. And that's what I'm saying to you. The bits of it I do agree with. I agree with the maybe it is about clear lines. Then maybe it's about removing the uncertainty of who chooses the players. Maybe it's about that I'm a manager, you're a director of football. Listen, I need a centre forward. This is the one I want, and you go and get him. And you go and get. Or like you said, you come back and go. Just then, I don't know whether that works. There's 3 strikers. And I go, well, like Koeman, well, I only want Giroud. Yeah, but I can't get him. But there's them 3. Well, fuck it then, I'm not having any. Or, listen, I need a striker.
See, in that
maybe it's about the
well, in that situation then, right? In that situation, should the club have overruled them and said, no, we can't get you this player. See, because this is funny, because this is the flip side of it, isn't it? Yeah. This is where the club.
Maybe you just need a good manager.
That would help. But but look at that though, right? That's a manager saying, I want that player. And you're saying, I can't get you that player. And that manager's like, I'm not asked then. But the club and the director of football are like, we need one. We need a centre forward, right? So we're going to buy one, whether you like it or not. We're buying it, because ultimately that decision, right, has cost Koeman his job.
Well, that's it.
Not having but that was his own. But that was his own.
I think the problem at Everton, right, just looking at the Everton one, there's two big.
Say them bad.
Problems, right? One, we got a director of football in who wasn't a director of football.
Yeah, okay.
And 2, he came in after the manager.
Okay.
Right? So we got Koeman, and then we got Steve Walsh August before the window shut. So that relationship mightn't have been there, wasn't there? As we know, when Koeman spoke to the Dutch press about the transfer market and blamed it all on Steve Walsh, didn't he? So there's issues there. So I suppose it will come down to the manager. Are you happy to work with a director of football? He's going to do this, and this. Now that manager might go, I have no issue working with a director of footballer, but I'm having the final say on players, on who we buy. And that director of football might go, great. That manager, the director of football might say, we'll have your choices, and I'll bring you options as well. And the manager again might go, well,
what about this then? I mean, I'm not necessarily I agree with this, but what if the manager what if the club say something? No, the only thing you will have the final say on is who starts on Saturday. So we will buy you a striker, right? If you don't play him, that's up to you.
But this is what we're kind of seeing now with Cenk Tosun. So we're seeing, we were told this lad was the best, and he may still well be. I'm not writing him off by any stretch of the imagination, but we were told he was the best striker in Europe, right? In Europe, that we could buy. We bought him on the 5th of January, he signed his contract. So, and we went out there on December, we went out there the 23rd or 22nd of December to sort it, and it's dragged on. So we knew who we wanted. We've now got our manager telling us this fella doesn't like the cold, gonna take time, might not even work. So where our fans are going, we just bought someone for 27 million.
And who do you think is coming out worse for me?
Not the manager.
Yeah,
but the strikers also getting bits and pieces.
But ultimately, right? Ultimately, and it's the same with Koeman for Giroud. They're cutting their own throats.
I know,
but this is the point that.
But I'm looking at it from a fan's point. You know what the problem is?
But don't look at it from a fan's point of view, because actually there's no point looking from a fan's point of view, because we're not getting told. But look at it from the manager's point of view, right? It's just self-harm. It's just self-harm. You're fighting a system that there's only going to be one winner. That's the way I'm looking at it. If Mashiri wants it, right, and Dingo wants it at Chelsea, and they want it at City, and they want it at Paris Saint-Germain, and they want it at Barcelona, right, you're fighting a system that you can't beat. So what are you doing? You're ultimately cutting your own throat, right? Koeman has gone to work for Holland, but he hasn't got a director of football because he's got nothing. All he's got is the players that just happen to come from Holland, right? So you're cutting your options down because this ain't going away like VAR. This ain't going away. More clubs will have directors of football because there's too much financial responsibility now. There's too much going on.
Well, then we need a good one in there.
But that's it, and that's the way I look at it.
A good one in. We need a clear pathway, and when that good one comes in, we need press. The press or Everton. Yeah, we know you watch. Do a fucking interview.
Don't know if they're on Patreon.
I wouldn't fucking surprise me. Do an interview with them.
They've got a black account.
Yeah, 100%, 100% though. Do an I know a couple of that. Do an interview with him. 15 minutes. Everything he does, what he does, clarify it. Do you buy the players for the manager? And if he goes, no, what we do, we sit down. Manager will come to us with players, and we'll have a few options, and we'll go and do the best we can. We work. We have a good close relationship with the player. That with the manager.
Do you know what?
And once that comes out, we all know.
Do you know
and
what?
It removes all of the uncertainty.
It would be
like goal line technology.
If Everton sat down with, and when I say this, I don't mean in a fucking, we're all bezies here. If Everton sat down and had a proper chat with either Mashiri or Dingo about being director of football, Walsh, it would be make for brilliant headlines in terms of speaking to the fans, and the press would love it about what the job is. Right? They did that. They'd get a great video out of it. But I just think that one manager's already cut his throat by not just getting on with the job he was given and not getting on with it. Now I'm not saying Steve Walsh is the man. I'm just saying he could have started the season with a decent centre forward and rejected it, and then found himself out of work. Now, Allardyce might be right about Tosin. He might be, and I'm not. I've got no. Funny enough, I've got no qualms about the way. Like people are like, I should be playing. I don't. That's not how I feel about it. But I think you should. You shouldn't be talking about a player like that. No. Like you've got doubts out of him. You talk about him in a positive way, going, we're working with him every day, and he's getting better, and he's getting used to the air. Don't forget, he's finding a house and all this. You speak to him about positive. It's going to take a bit of time.
Always questioning him.
But for me, the more he talks publicly about the system being wrong, the more he's cutting that. Because the owner will just go, this is the system, and if you don't like it, there's the door, mate. If you're resistant to this system,
I just think, like I said to you before, that's the reason why I don't really like it, is because for those reasons. I don't want any excuses. I want the book to start with the manager, because you're given, the minute you start giving, we've just done another video about all the excuses he rolls out, and this is just another one for me.
I think, and we mentioned this in the video, we've lost sight of so many things in football, so many things, and one of the things we've lost sight is coaching, right? And it's no coincidence that the top managers who can coach, who can grab you, bring them over here and make you a better player at all of the top clubs. We have managers like Allardyce and Redknapp and Pulis and all these, and Moyes was a good coach at Everton, I'll give him that, and that's probably why he got the Man United job, because he was a good coach. But they wheel and deal, and they do things by
Moyes developed players.
No, I know he did, but they wheel and deal. And that's how
they piece it together.
That's how they manage. But that side of things is going away from them, because number one, that's not how football clubs want to do things anymore, because of headlines attached to some managers, including our own. But the best clubs want to get back to good old-fashioned coaching and want to make players better, improve players, and that's why players now as well, don't forget, we'll sign for you instead of me, because if I've got a choice of 2 managers, right, or 2 clubs, right, you're willing to offer me £400,000 a week, I'll give you £400,000 a week. You get to live in a nice, like Man City, Man United, let's just say for argument's sake, you live in the same city, you get everything. What's the difference in you and me? Well, the player might go, it works both ways. The player go, let's say Sterling, he's gone Man City, or John Stones, I want to go to Man City rather than Chelsea because Pep Guardiola is going to make me fucking boss. I know he is, because I know he's a brilliant coach. And then you might have Alexis Silva who's gone, I like Mourinho because he's going to give me 700. He's going to give me 750,000. Nobody might go, because he's the kind of manager that will get the best out of me. He'll push me and he'll motivate me, and they're the things. I don't need any more coaching. I'm 29. I don't need coaching. I need this, and that's what he gives me. But younger players who are hungry, who've got skill, will go, Guardiola, it'll get me on the training pitch and make me better. And if you've got those 2 choices, nowadays, the choices, clubs